Hey everybody, John here. I want to do a quick video and show you a couple fire kits that I use almost daily. So I'm going to turn the camera around and I'll do each one individually. Show you the contents and what's inside, what we do with it, and how I use it, I guess. We'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. So the first kit I'm going to go over, get this set here right. This pouch is made by Jay Berry at Tough Possum Gear. And it's called his PSK pouch, or Personal Survival Kit pouch. It's made out of water-resistant safety orange. I don't know, he calls it X-Pack laminated material. It's water-resistant, not waterproof, but it has a sealed YKK zipper too. So I'm pretty sure it would take a decent, it wouldn't take a dunking, but the pouch is, I think it's like 5.5 or 5 this way and 6.5 this way. So my drawstring, pull string is fire cord. So that gives me about an extra 10 inches of, well, not only inner cords if I needed it for something, but it has a red inner layer that's fire starting material. And that stuff works pretty good. So digging inside, let me add this kit here is, and I'm filming this in the camper for one, to hide from everybody else and get peace. And the whole theme of this kit is, it's one that it's always with me. You know, if we're camping or I'm out in the garage, I build a fire almost every night. But this goes with us camping. And it just so happens that we went on a camping trip 2 weeks ago, just down to the local river, to the state campground. So this kit went with me. So I think rather than just pull individual out, I'm going to pull it all out and try to just set it all. And then I'll go through everything one by one. And you can see, if that will focus, the white, what he's calling like a laminated material. And it's kind of, I would almost say waterproof, but he said the seams will leak. So there's the pouch. So tinder, birch bark. And I'll get to that. Birch bark. And dogs are out there fighting. I got this, I'm in Ohio, and Northwest Ohio, we don't have any birch trees. So this is my first time using birch bark. And I got this off a guy, username S. Decker from the Bushcraft USA forums that I'm a member of. So on our camping trip, every fire I made started with tinder from this birch bark. And I'm sold. It's amazing stuff. Now I will say I cheated and I used the Yuko stormproof matches to light it. I was told that's not needed. You know, I needed a fire. We had people there. So in this bag with that birch bark is my homemade. These are a cotton, like the makeup pads. And I double boiled on the stove candle wax, and I dipped it in candle wax. So you can just break that open, fray it. Lighter will light it. Fire steel will light it. So awesome stuff there. Awesome tinder. So keeping in the theme of the tinder, fiber light, this little tin here, and Ranger band, that's used for tinder also. This fiber light is a fire starter, and you can see I like this stuff. I use it a lot. This stuff burns great. And this tin actually came with, it has a whistle on one end. If I get that to focus. Has a whistle on the one end, and then this is actually a fire steel. If I pull it open right. I'm probably not. There we go. That's the striker. And there's the fire steel. And I'm not going to do it in the camper. So yeah, that's a good piece of kit right there. I use that, as you can see. Keep the Ranger band on there just so it doesn't open up in my pouch. Fat wood. Good old fat wood. And this is fat wood that I got out behind my barn from a very old pine tree that was dead when we moved here. And when I cut it down, I got quite a bit of fat wood out of it. That's my another go-to tinder. And of course the magnesium rod with the fire steel on it. I mean, you can laugh. These things are $4 or $5 at Walmart, whatever. They work. I've used it. They work. I mean, so why not? And of course my fire steel. This one I made with an antler we harvested. Somebody did, me or my kids or somebody. Put a antler handle on it. So my fire steel. Bic lighter. And I took the safety, child safety proof off of it. I do that to all my Bics. Put one layer of Gorilla Tape around it to keep the button from depressing. And then there's a little over 2 feet of Gorilla Tape on it. And you know the old duct tape trick for a tinder? Gorilla Tape is way better than duct tape. I will say that. Keep the little collapsible bellows in there. That's pretty good for trying to get your fire going. It's small, light, so why not? And then the Yuko storm matches. I can't say enough about these things. And I actually need to... I usually keep a couple tinder tabs in there, and it looks like there's only one left. I keep a couple more pieces, small pieces of fat wood of that. And then, of course, the matches. There's 3 matches missing, and one of the tinder quicks missing, because I used them at the campground. It rained all day Saturday while we were there, and Saturday night, so Sunday's fire was a little tough getting going. But that did it, that and the birch bark. So that's a kit I try to keep with me all the time for camping and everyday use. This kit is something new to me, not the contents, but the bag. So again, going back to the Bushcraft USA forums, a guy by the forum name of Stag's Crest, he hand makes these bags and gives them out. And what he does, he gets materials, whatever, leather, antler, canvas, anything from other members that send him, and then he builds pouches and sends them to people. So I inquired about a pouch. He wouldn't give me his address to send him material until this pouch was built, and he got my address to ship it out to me, which was wonderful. I mean, that was, I would have just let him build it out of my material, but that's fine. I sent him a medium flat rate box chocked full of stuff, and I believe he's already made a couple pouches out of the stuff I sent him. So awesome guy there. So the canvas pouch just opens up like this. Pull this little drawstring, and the quality of this pouch is awesome. And then, I mean, he made this thing in a couple days. It's canvas and leather, has a belt pouch on the back to put it on a belt. And I'm gonna probably really make a mess here, but I'm gonna dump this out too, or just pull I'll just do each one separately here. So in this pouch, and this is gonna be in my haversack or my backpack or whatever I'm outdoorsing with, or hiking or hunting with, of course, other stuff. This is just my fire kit. And I'll jump back to that fire steel, because this one has a striker. And this is the same deal. I made it out of my antler. I dyed these antlers with a leather dye. This has a saber saw blade in it, so I can use it to actually cut wood or make tinder, and the back of it will scrape the fire steel. But you'll say, well, you don't have a striker for this fire steel in that kit. I always have knives on me. Always have 2, if not 3. And every blade that I have, or knife with a blade in it, has a sharpened spine to be able to strike a ferrocerium rod, so I'm not worried about that. Another little waterproof match case. I think this is just a cheap Walmart one, but it has the Yuko stormproof matches in it. And I thought it had a tinder tab in it too, but so it has the Yuko stormproof matches, and a couple pieces of fat wood in there. And that should have at least one tinder tab in it. So I need to replace that. I mean, they're usable kits. I use them, so I need to go through and fill them back up. This one has more birch bark. We already talked about how good the birch bark is. And then I have 4 of the tried and true petroleum jelly, Vaseline cotton balls. And what I do to try not to make too big of a mess, I just take a cotton ball and I open it in the middle, like split it in half, dab a fingertip full of Vaseline and put in it and try to close it back up, just to keep it a little less greasy in the baggie. But those work great. Another one of the magnesium rods, or fire blocks with the fire steel on it. Again, they work. Why not? 2 pieces of fat wood. This is a couple other. See, look at that. That's a couple nice chunks. And fat wood works. This has a mini beck in it. And same thing. The safety's off. Piece of tape around it to keep the button from depressing. And this only has about a foot or so of Gorilla Tape on it. And then this is my flint and steel kit and Ranger band. But this flint and steel kit is kind of special. So again, going back to Bushcraft USA, a guy by the name of Red Yeti Forge. He hand forges knives and strikers. And this is what he calls a fire snake. And I don't know if this thing will do it any justice, but he hand forged that out of a rat tail file. And let me tell you, it throws some sparks. So the striker, a couple pieces of real sharp flint, which I've gotten pretty good at napping the edges to make sure I've got sharp edges on them. So a couple pieces of flint, a really good chunk of, yeah, why can't I think of the name of that? Jute twine. Good hunk of jute twine. Well, more charred cloth, and that one, it's kind of breaking all over the place in here on me. I have another striker, and this one I made out of an old Nicholson file I had at work that was broke. And it throws some good sparks too, but I don't have a bottle out here to show this, but it's a bottle opener on this end. And yeah, it works. Another piece of flint, and let's see how sharp this one is. I really got the edges good on this one. Another little chunk. I don't know why that's in there. A couple birthday candles, because why not? These are the ones that, you kind of can't blow out. One of those cotton pads, but it's not soaked in candle wax. And a couple pieces of denim that I could make char cloth with if I absolutely had to. I try not to do that in the field, though. There's really no need for it. There's no sense in not taking enough with you. So I'll pack all that up later. So that's both kits. One that I take with me pretty much wherever we go. And the new one that I'm going to be putting in a kit when I go out places. Outdoors, whatever. So, please, like and subscribe. Feel free to, give me comments. Tell me what you think about my gear. If you would change anything, do anything different. You like what I'm doing, you don't like what I'm doing. I see I picked up a couple more followers. I know I said I really didn't care. But, if people like what I'm doing, I'll definitely do more. Like I said, we're in the camping season now, so we're going to be out doing stuff. So I'll try to videotape what we do. Yeah, I don't know. That's about it. I mean, just thanks everybody. I greatly appreciate the likes and the follows, and feel free to give me any comments. Well, talk to you guys later.